The rain hammered against the window like accusations I could not outrun. I stood there frozen, my silk robe slipping from one shoulder, the dim lamp casting shadows that hid nothing. And then the door swung open, Hazel's silhouette filling the frame, her eyes locking onto mine in a gaze that stripped away every fragile lie I had built. My breath caught a ragged hitch in the quiet room where secrets had bloomed unchecked. She did not move, did not speak, just stared, the suitcase dropping from her hand with a soft thud that echoed louder than thunder. In that suspended heartbeat I saw it all, the girl from summers past, now a woman whose presence unraveled me thread by thread. I yanked the robe closed, my face burning as if the city lights outside had turned their glare inward. Hazel blinked, finally, her lips parting on a whisper that barely cut the air. Aurora. What? She trailed off, her voice cracking like dry leaves underfoot. I turned away, sinking onto the edge of the couch, my hands trembling in my lap. The apartment in Brooklyn felt too small, suddenly the walls pressing in with the weight of what she had walked into. Not this, not now. I had meant to be alone tonight, to let the storm drown out the ache that had followed me from that family dinner last week. She stepped inside, closing the door with a gentleness that belied the storm in her eyes. The rain pattered on relentless, a backdrop to the silence stretching between us. I could hear her breathing steady but quick, her footsteps soft on the hardwood as she crossed to me. I should explain, I started, my voice a threadbare thing. But the words tangled, refused to form. Instead a sigh escaped me, heavy and defeated, carrying the scent of the jasmine candle I had lit earlier to chase away the loneliness. Hazel knelt before me, her hands hovering near my knees as if afraid to touch. Her face was the same as I remembered from childhood, those green eyes flecked with gold that had always seen too much. She was 26 now, a high school English teacher from the quiet suburbs of Chicago, her life a neat weave of lesson plans and weekend hikes. And I at 28, a graphic designer chasing deadlines in the chaos of New York, my sketches scattered like confessions across the coffee table. You do not have to say anything, she murmured, her voice soft as the fog rolling in from the East River. Not if it hurts. But her gaze dropped to the robe, then back to my face, and I saw the question there, the one neither of us dared voice. I reached out then, my fingers brushing her cheek, the skin warm and real under my touch. It had been years since we had been this close, not since that summer at Aunt Lena's lake house when we were teens, stealing moments by the dock, our laughter masking something deeper, something we both pretended was just cousinly affection. She leaned into my hand, her eyes fluttering closed for a breath. The air thickened, charged with the unsaid. Outside the storm raged on, but inside it was quieter, a fragile peace born of recognition. We stayed like that until the rain eased, her head resting against my knee, my fingers threading through her damp hair. Talk to me, she said, finally opening her eyes to meet mine. Whatever this is, whatever you are carrying, I am here. And so I did. The words spilled out, halting at first, then in a rush. The family dinner where Uncle Mark had joked about settling down, his words landing like stones in my gut. The woman I had dated for 3 months who left because my heart was never fully in it, always drifting back to memories I could not name. And tonight the solitude that had twisted into desperation, my body seeking release, and thoughts that shamed me because they wore Hazel's face. She listened without interruption, her hand finding mine, squeezing gently. When I finished the silence returned, but it was different now, laced with understanding. I know, she said softly. I have felt it too. Those summers. The way your laugh would linger in my dreams long after I went home. My heart stuttered, a wild thing caged too long. You mean? I could not finish the sentence, the implication too vast, too forbidden. She nodded, rising to sit beside me, our thighs brushing in the small space of the couch. Yes. And it scares me, Aurora. Because we are family. Because the world would not understand. But denying it feels like dying a little each day. We talked through the night, the city's hum a distant lullaby. She had come unannounced, driven by the same family tensions that had cracked my resolve, a need to escape the expectations back home. Her apartment in Chicago felt like a museum of what was expected, a boyfriend her mother approved of, lesson plans that filled every hour. But here in my cluttered Brooklyn space with its exposed brick and half-finished canvases, she could breathe. By dawn the storm had passed, leaving the sky a bruised purple. We shared coffee black and strong, her stories weaving with mine tales of school crushes that echoed our own buried truths. Laughter came tentative at first, then freer, bubbling up like relief. But as the sun climbed higher, doubt crept in. What now, I wondered, watching her rinse mugs in the sink, her movements graceful, unhurried. We were cousins, blood ties that society twisted into taboos. One wrong step and everything could shatter irreparably. She turned, catching my gaze, her smile tentative. "Let us not think too far ahead," she said, drying her hands on a towel. "Just be here. With me. For now." And so we were. The day unfolded lazy and intimate, a walk through Prospect Park where autumn leaves crunched underfoot, their colors mirroring the flush on her cheeks. We spoke of everything and nothing, her hand brushing mine as we navigated crowded paths, the contact electric yet innocent. By evening we were back in the apartment cooking pasta from scratch, her laughter filling the kitchen as sauce splattered the counter. It felt like a dream, a stolen interlude where the world outside ceased to matter. But dreams fracture. As night fell again, the weight returned, heavier, now laced with longing. We sat on the fire escape, stars pricking the sky above the skyline. Her shoulder pressed to mine, the warmth seeping through our clothes. "I want to kiss you," I whispered, the confession slipping free before I could cage it. She turned her face inches from mine, breath mingling in the cool air. "Then do it," she replied, her voice a quiet dare. Our lips met, soft, tentative, a spark igniting the dry tinder of years. It was everything and nothing like I remembered, deeper now, layered with adult aches and joys. Her hand cupped my neck, pulling me closer, the kiss deepening until the city spun away, leaving only us. When we parted, breath ragged, she rested her forehead against mine. "This changes everything." "Yes," I agreed, my voice thick. "But maybe that is what we need." Sleep came fitful that night, her body curled against mine in the narrow bed. Whispers in the dark, confessions of fears and hopes. She spoke of her students, the way their stories moved her, of the poetry she wrote in secret lines that echoed our tangled hearts. I shared my designs, the ones that captured fleeting emotions, the colors bleeding like unspoken loves. Morning brought clarity and terror. Over breakfast she voiced the doubt that had simmered. "We cannot hide this forever, Aurora. Family will notice. Friends. And what if it breaks us?" I nodded, the fork pausing midway to my mouth. "It might. But pretending has already broken something inside me." We decided then to face it together, a road trip to the family lake house in Michigan for the annual reunion. A chance to test these waters away from the city's indifferent eyes. "Pack light," she said with a grin that did not quite reach her eyes. "Adventure awaits." The drive was a blur of highways and heartbeats, her playlist filling the car with indie folk songs that spoke of lost roads and found souls. We stopped in Cleveland for lunch, her hand lingering on mine across the diner table, the waitress none the wiser. But as miles fell away, the past loomed. Memories of that summer flooded back, the dock where we had swum naked on a dare, our bodies young and unscarred, the brush of skin accidental yet charged. We laughed about it now, but the undercurrent pulled stronger. Night found us in a roadside motel, the neon sign buzzing outside like a warning. The room was small, a single bed that we claimed without question. Kisses turned fervent, hands exploring with a hunger long denied. Her skin was silk under my fingers, her sighs music in the dim light. Afterward, lying tangled in sheets, she traced patterns on my arm. "I love you, Aurora. Not as family. As this. As us." Tears pricked my eyes, the words a balm and a blade. "I love you too. But what does that mean for tomorrow?" "It means we fight for it," she murmured, sleep claiming her, voice fading. The lake house appeared on the third day, a weathered cabin nestled among pines, the water lapping gentle at the shore. Family cars dotted the drive, aunts, uncles, cousins milling about with coolers and chairs. We arrived hand in hand, the gesture casual yet deliberate, a quiet declaration. Aunt Lena hugged us tight, her eyes sharp. "You two look happy." "Something different." "Just the road," Hazel replied, smooth as ever. "Clears the head." The days blurred into a rhythm of barbecues and boat rides, laughter masking the tension coiling inside. Uncle Mark clapped me on the back, praising my city success, oblivious to the glances Hazel and I stole across the fire pit, her foot nudging mine under the table. But cracks formed. My sister Ellie cornered me by the kitchen sink, her brow furrowed. "What is going on with you and Hazel? You are different. Too close." I froze, the dish slipping from my hand into soapy water. "What do you mean?" She sighed, crossing her arms. "I see the way you look at her, Aurora. Like she is your world. And it is not just cousin stuff." My throat tightened, words failing. "It is complicated," I managed. "Complicated how?" "Talk to me." "We are blood." The irony twisted like a knife. Blood that bound and broke. I told her then in halting whispers, the truth spilling like wine on white cloth. Her face shifted from shock to something softer, understanding dawning slow. Be careful, she said, finally hugging me fierce. Love like that, it burns bright but it can consume. That night by the lake, Hazel and I walked the shore, moon silvering the waves. Ellie's words echoed, but here in the sacred space doubt receded. We kissed under the stars, her body fitting mine like a missing piece. I am scared, she admitted, pulling back, her eyes searching mine. Of losing you. Of losing them. Then we hold on, I replied, my voice steady. Together. The reunion peaked on the fourth day, a bonfire where stories flowed like the beer. Uncle Mark raised a toast to family, his words warm yet laced with tradition. To roots that keep us grounded. Hazel squeezed my hand, hidden in the shadows, her touch a lifeline. Grounded, I whispered back. Or free. As embers died, the confrontation came swift. Aunt Lena pulled us aside, her face lined with concern. I saw you too. By the water. This cannot be Aurora. Hazel. You are family. The air stilled, the pines whispering judgment. Hazel's hand tightened and my knuckles white. Aunt Lena, we love each other, she said, voice breaking but clear. Not in the way you think. Deeper. Lena's eyes widened, tears glistening. Love. But it is wrong. Society. God. No, I interjected, stepping forward, heart pounding. It is human. Messy and real. And ours. The argument stretched, raw words flying like sparks. Ellie intervened, her voice calm, pulling Lena into a hug. Let them be, Mom. Love finds its way. Lena crumpled, then sobbed, shaking her frame. I just want you safe. Happy. We are, she said through tears. With each other. Dawn broke cold, the family scattered, hugs exchanged, tentative but real. Lena held us longest, her embrace a bridge over chasms. Call me, she whispered. Often. The drive back was quieter, reflection settling like dust. We stopped in Ohio for the night, a small inn with a porch swing where we swayed, gentle stars overhead. What now, Hazel asked, her head on my shoulder. We build, I replied, kissing her temple. Piece by piece. No hiding. Back in New York, life resumed its hustle but altered. My designs bloomed, bolder colors fierce with emotion. Hers, two stories from her classroom laced with truths once veiled. Months passed, letters from Lena warming, gradual acceptance threading through. Ellie visited, bearing wine and wisdom, her support a quiet anchor. One evening on the fire escape, sunset painting the sky, Hazel turned to me, ring in hand, simple gold band glinting. Marry me, she said, not a question but a promise. Cousins or not, labels be damned. Tears fell free, my yes a breath, a vow. In a quiet ceremony by the lake, witnesses few but true, we bound ourselves, not in spite of blood but because of it, deeper ties forged in fire. Years later, reflections come soft, the shaken moment a catalyst, not a curse. We teach now, her in classrooms, mine through art lessons and love that defies boxes. Family gatherings hold space for us, hands linked openly, Lena's smile genuine. Love, it turns out, is not a straight path but a lake vast and deep, reflecting truths we dared not name. And in its waters we find not shame but grace, the human heart vast enough for all. The apartment door clicked shut behind us, sealing the outside world away for a breath. Hazel leaned against it, her chest rising, falling in rhythm with mine, eyes dark with the weight of what we had just done. I crossed to the window, staring out at the Brooklyn streets below, cars crawling like veins, pulsing life into the night. Turn around, she said softly, her voice pulling me back. I did, meeting her gaze, the air between us humming with unspoken promises. She pushed off the door, closing the distance, her fingers tracing my jawline, slow, deliberate, sending shivers racing down my spine. This is real, isn't it? I murmured, my hand covering hers, holding it there against my skin. The warmth of her, the scent of her shampoo, faint vanilla, it grounded me in this moment that felt borrowed from a dream. As real as you and me, she replied, her thumb brushing my lower lip. But we need to talk, Aurora. About what happens next. I nodded, pulling her to the couch where we sank together, legs tangled comfortably. The lamp cast a golden glow, softening the edges of worry lines on her forehead. She had always been the planner, maps and itineraries for family trips back home, while I sketched whims in the margins. Start with the reunion, I suggested, my voice steadier than I felt. We go, we face them. Together. Her laugh was low, a rumble that vibrated through me. Bold. I like it. But Mom, she will have opinions. Dad too, though he is quieter about it. I thought of Uncle Tom, his pipe smoke and patient silences, the way he had taught us to fish those summers, rod in hand, stories flowing easy. He would listen, I think. Really listen. Maybe, she conceded, leaning her head on my shoulder. And Ellie, she has your back always. We sat like that, planning in whispers the bonfire, the boat rides, the casual touches we could no longer deny. Laughter crept in when I mimicked Uncle Mark's booming toasts, his glass raised high. To the girls, he would say, winking. May they find their way. They will, Hazel replied, her fingers interlacing with mine. We already have. Sleep claimed us there on the couch, dawn creeping in with birdsong from the park. I woke first, her lashes fluttering against my cheek, breath warm on my neck. Slipping free, I padded to the kitchen, brewing coffee, the ritual calming my nerves. She stirred as the aroma filled the air, stretching with a yawn that lit her face. Morning already. Feels like we just began, I said, handing her a mug, steam curling between us. Today we pack road trip essentials. Her eyes sparkled mischief there. Essentials. Like that playlist I made. Songs for the open road and stolen kisses. We spent the morning folding clothes into duffels, her sundresses mingling with my jeans, a tangible blend of our worlds. Laughter echoed as she modeled a hat, wide-brimmed, silly, on her head. City girl goes country, I teased, snapping a photo, her pout turning to grin. By noon the car was loaded, a rental sedan sturdy for the miles ahead. We locked the apartment, waving to Mrs. Patel next door, her wave vigorous from the stoop. Safe travel, she called. Bring back stories. The Holland Tunnel swallowed us, spitting us onto the Jersey Turnpike, where highways stretched like ribbons unspooling west. Hazel drove first, her hand on the gearshift, occasionally brushing my knee, the contact casual yet charged. Tell me something I do not know, I said, settling into the passenger seat, wind whipping through cracked windows. She glanced over, smile sly. All right. In college I wrote poetry. Bad poetry about a girl with blue eyes and a laugh like summer. My heart flipped. Let me guess. The girl was fictional. Her chuckle was rich. Not entirely. Now your turn. I hesitated, then dove in. I have a sketchbook just for you. Pages of faces, moments from those summers, your smile and charcoal, your hands in the water. She squeezed my thigh, eyes on the road. Show me when we stop. We did, at a rest area near Harrisburg, picnic spread on a blanket, apples and cheese from a market, her head in my lap as I flipped pages. Her fingers traced lines, soft murmurs of wonder filling the air. Beautiful, she breathed. Like seeing myself through your eyes. That is how it is, I replied, closing the book. Always has been. Night fell on Pennsylvania hills, rolling dark under stars. The motel was quaint, quilts faded but clean, the bed wide enough for us to sprawl. Kisses started, playful, turned urgent, her body arching under mine, sighs swallowed in the quiet. After she traced my spine, lazy circles. Scared yet? Terrified, I admitted, voice muffled against her shoulder. But the good kind. Like jumping into the lake blind. She hummed agreement, sleep tugging at us. Jump with me then. Morning brought rain, misting the windshield as I took the wheel. We sang off key to her playlist, rain tapping rhythm, a duet of our own. Conversation flowed deeper now, fears voiced gently. What if they reject us, I asked, passing a truck, wipers swishing steady. Then we have each other, she said, hand on my arm. And places to go. New starts. Her words settled like balm, easing the knot in my chest. By Cleveland the sun broke through blue sky, vast promising. We lunched at a diner, vinyl booths and pie, her foot hooking mine under the table, the waitress calling us sweethearts, oblivious. Afternoon miles, blurred stories unfolding, her tales of classroom chaos, a student reciting Shakespeare with flair, mine of a client meltdown over fonts. Laughter bridged gaps, making the forbidden feel possible. Dusk painted the horizon as we crossed into Ohio fields, golden under fading light. The inn was charming, porch swing creaking our weight as we swayed, wine glasses clinking, soft toasts to us to courage. Inside, fire crackling in the grate, we danced slow, no music needed, her cheek against mine, whispers of forever. Bed claimed us, bodies entwining, love making slow, tender, mapping each curve, each sigh. Dawn woke us, gentle birds calling. Over coffee on the porch she voiced a dream. A cabin someday our own by water quiet where we write and design no eyes watching. I see it, I said, kissing her knuckles. Wood beams, bookshelves, our sketches on walls. The drive resumed, her at the wheel, stories turning to silences, comfortable ones filled with glances. We spoke of futures tangled with pasts, the lake house looming in memory. What if it is too much, I murmured as Michigan signs appeared. Then we breathed, she replied, pulling over at a viewpoint, lake glimpses teasing. One step, Aurora. With me. We kissed, their car fogging windows, world narrowing to us. Resuming the road felt lighter, resolve hardening. The lake house came into view, late afternoon sun glinting off water, pines whispering welcome. Cars lined the drive, voices carrying laughter and calls. Heart pounding, we unloaded bags, hands brushing, purposeful. Aunt Lena met us at the door, arms open wide. Girls. Right on time. Her hug lingered, eyes searching. You look radiant. Road does that, Hazel quipped, unloading cooler. Clears the soul. Inside chaos greeted, aunts chopping veggies, uncles firing up the grill, cousins chasing kids across lawn. Ellie spotted us first, pulling me into a fierce embrace. Spill, she whispered. Everything. Later, I promised, dodging a flying frisbee. Soon. Evening settled, bonfire crackling, marshmallows toasting golden. We sat close, thighs touching, flames dancing in our eyes. Uncle Mark's toast boomed to kinships that endure, his glass raised high. Endure, Hazel murmured, her pinky linking mine hidden. Yes. Stories flowed, night deepening, her hand finding my knee under blanket, casual anchor. Laughter rang, but undercurrent pulled, tension building like storm clouds. Midnight found us walking, dockboards creaking underfoot, water lapping soft. Moon silvered her face as she turned to me. Remember this, she said, voice low. Our spot. Always, I replied, pulling her close, kiss deepening, salt air mingling with her taste. Hands roamed urgent yet reverent, bodies pressing, dock swaying gentle. Afterward breathless we lay, planks warm from day, her head on my chest. This is worth it, she whispered, stars wheeling above. Everything, I agreed, heart full. Utterly. Sleep came, lake lulling us, dreams weaving futures bright. Morning light filtered through pines, dappling the kitchen where coffee brewed strong, Aunt Lena bustling, pancakes flipping golden. We joined, tentative smiles exchanged, her glance lingering. Sleep well, girls, she asked, spatula pausing. Like logs, Hazel replied, pouring mugs, steam rising. Lake magic. Ellie slid in beside me, elbow nudge. Walk later. Talk. We nodded, plates filling, syrup sticky, laughter light. Outside kids splashed, dock uncles baited, lines whirled, turning familiar yet new. The day unfolded, lazy boats bobbing, rentals claimed, we motored out, water cool, spray misting faces. Hazel at the helm, wind tangling her hair, my hand on her waist steadying turns, laughter echoing waves. Deeper out, island small, we anchored, lunch spread, sandwiches and fruit, her feeding me, grapes juice sweet on lips. Eyes locked, world fading, just a sun-warmed skin kissing shoulders. Back ashore, barbecue, smoked ribs tender, aunts gossiping, soft uncles debating sports. We mingled, touches fleeting, her brush of fingers electric, my knee nudge under picnic table. Ellie pulled me aside, path to woods, leaves crunching. Tell me, she demanded, arms crossed. The truth. I sighed, leaning against tree bark rough. It is Hazel. We are together. Her eyes widened then softened. I thought so. Since the city. Be careful, sis. Family is tricky. We know, I said, voice thick. But hiding hurts more. She hugged me tight. Then do not hide. Own it. Afternoon waned, games, charades, wild gestures, cousins guessing her impression of Uncle Mark's spot on, laughter roaring, fire pit. Evening bonfire reignited, stories old retold, summers past, dock dares, skinny dips innocent now laced deeper. Hazel beside me, blanket shared, her warmth seeping. Uncle Tom's pipe glowed embers, his gaze on us thoughtful. Happy girls, he rumbled later by cooler. Whatever it is. Trying, she replied, voice steady. To be. He nodded, puffing slow. Love that is true, it finds room. Always. His words lingered, balm as night deepened, songs, guitars strumming folk tunes, her voice joining soft harmony, mine humming low. Midnight dock called us again, stars thick, water mirror black. We swam, clothes shed, bodies slicing, cool embrace surfacing, gasps close, her legs wrapping mine, kisses salt laced urgent. Shore reached towels rough her drying my hair fingers gentle. I love this, she murmured. Us. Raw. Me too, I whispered, pulling her down, sand cool. Always. Sleep, lake house bed, shared whispers, fading dreams sweet. Dawn brought rain, pattering roof, waking us, tangled sheets damp. Breakfast quiet, Lena serving oatmeal, eyes soft. Plans today, she asked, stirring pot. Cabin fever, Hazel quipped, winking. Maybe drive to town. Town it was, market, quaint stalls, berries, fresh bread warm, we wandered, hands swinging open, now less care. Cafe corner, table, coffees, iced, her foot on mine, casual, intimate. Back paths, muddy boots caked, Ellie joined us, porch swing creaking. Mom knows, she said low. Suspects. Heart stuttered. And? Give her time. Show her. Live it. We nodded, resolve firm, rain easing, sun peeking. Afternoon crafts, kids painting rocks, colors bright, Hazel joining brushes deft, my sketchpad out, capturing her focus, light catching cheekbone. Dinner, potluck, casserole steaming, salads crisp, talk turning serious, Uncle Mark politics heated, his voice rising. World changes, he boomed. But family stays. Stays, Hazel echoed, glass raised, eyes on mine. Through all. His toast followed words, slurring, warm to bonds, unbreakable, arm around Lena. Night bonfire, smaller circle, tight stories turning personal, aunts sharing heartaches, healed uncles, regrets voiced soft. Lena spoke then, voice tremulous. Lost my sister young. Learned hold tight. No matter what. Her eyes met ours, tears glinting. Cheers to holding, she finished. We clinked, hearts swelling. Later, dock, quiet waves lapping, Hazel in my arms, head on shoulder. Think she knows, I whispered, stars reflected water. Yes, she murmured. And loves anyway. Sleep came, deep rain lullaby, dreams of cabins, lakes eternal. Morning final, full sun bright, packing slow, hugs lingering. Lena held longest, tears silent. Visit soon, she said. Both. Promise, Hazel replied, voice thick. Drive away, lake shrinking, mirror, tears blurring, but smiles, true miles unspoiling east. Stops came, natural diners, pie warm motels, quilts, soft nights, passion filled days, stories endless. Ohio and porch again, wine flowing, dreams voiced, cabin plans, sketches drawn, napkin rough. Pennsylvania hills green, her driving hand, mine thigh songs belting, windows down, wind wild. Jersey turnpike, traffic thick, but us bubble safe, kisses at lights, her laugh freeing. Tunnel loomed, city calling, home changed. Apartment reached, bags dropped, embrace tight. Home, she sighed. Ours. Yes, I agreed, kiss ceiling. Finally. Weeks blurred, work resuming, designs vibrant, her classes, stories infused. Letters, Lena warm thawing, photos sent, lake sunsets, us blurred edge. Ellie called, weekly voice bridge. Mom asks after you. Smiling now. Relief flooded, visits planned, city walks, parks, autumn deep. One night gallery opening, my work walls, bold emotions raw, her arm linked, proud whispers, encouragement. After dinner, candlelit, her toast. To shaken moments, she said, eyes shining. That build worlds. Clink glasses, tears happy. To us. Life wove patterns, new friends met, careful truths shared, family dinners tentative but growing, Lena visiting, couch talks, late vulnerability shared. Winter came, snow blanketing streets, walks, hand mitten, cafe cocoa, steamed kisses, snowflake soft. Spring bloomed, park picnics, her reading poetry, mine sketching blooms, her muse eternal. Summer lake again, invitation open, arrival, hugs, real boat rides, hands linked, open now. Bonfire stories, ours woven in, careful, her voice steady, mine supporting. Lena pulled aside, later, dock creaking. Proud, she said, tears free. Of your courage. Your love. Thank you, I whispered, hug fierce. Means world. Night stars same but us evolved, kisses, dock familiar, deeper. Years threaded like that, moments building tapestry, rich blood ties redefined, love unbound. The gallery hummed with voices, low murmurs blending with jazz soft from speakers, my pieces, walls, stark emotions captured in lines, bold colors bleeding raw. Hazel beside me, arm looped through mine, her presence anchor steady in the swirl. Breathe, she whispered, thumb rubbing my wrist, pulse quick under touch. They see you, Aurora. The heart in every stroke. I nodded, sipping wine, tart on tongue, eyes scanning crowd faces, strangers mostly but friends too, nodding approval. Ellie across room waving subtle, her date beside, curious glance. The curator approached, tall glasses perched, nose handshake firm. Powerful work MS. Hail. The intimacy it pulls no punches. Thank you I managed voice even. Tried to capture what lingers. Unsaid things. He nodded drifting away her squeeze reassuring. See. Truth lands. Evening peak toast raised my words stumbling but true to risks to loves that shake foundations. Applause rippled her eyes proud tears glinting. After streets cool air crisp we walked arm in arm heels clicking pavement. Dinner reservations Italian whole wall candles flickering plates pasta twirled forks clinking. To nights like this she said glass raised red deep. To you. To us I echoed clink resonating. Always. Home stairs climbed slow kisses landing threshold crossed bed claimed slow undressing layers shed bodies known yet new explorations gentle urgent sighs filling room. Morning light soft waking tangled her fingers in my hair. Breakfast bagels cream cheese coffee black talk turning future whispers. Cabin fun she said practical lists forming. Save steady. Lakeview pines tall. I smiled sketching quick napkin lines rough cabin rising. Hours. Work weeks blurred deadlines met her grading stacks stories read aloud evenings shared critiques gentle laughs over red ink. Fall leaves turning walks Central Park crunch under boots her hand mine scarves wrapped close. Ellie visited weekend wine flowing couch deep talks sister secrets spilled her own heartaches voiced loves found lost. Mom wants you both for Thanksgiving she said eyes soft. Full table. No sides. Heart swelled text sent Lena thumbs up emoji simple profound. Holiday came drive long car stuffed pies turkey cold her playlist Thanksgiving tunes silly harmonies belted. House bustled aunts cooking uncles carving kids running chaos warm. Table set places marked us side by side hands brushing under cloth. Grace Uncle Tom voice rumble thanks for kin near far. Eyes on us knowing. Food past plates heavy talk light stories old new laughter ringing. After pie kitchen cleanup Lena beside me sink soapy. Happy I see it. In your eyes? Yes I replied tears pricking. You too. Hug quick fierce. Love you girls. Always. Walks post-meal lake frozen crunch boots her arm looped mittens linked snow falling soft. Back city holidays twinkled streets walks bundled kisses shop windows steamed. New Year Eve party friends loft balloons dropped countdown her lips on mine cheers fading just us. Resolutions whispered hers teach more mine create deeper together stronger. Winter deepened snowstorms nights and movies curled blankets her head lap fingers carding hair. Spring thaw parks green picnics blankets spread wine chilled her poetry read aloud lines weaving our story. One line stuck love defies maps charts its own course. Yes I murmured kiss ceiling. Ours. Summer lake again now tradition boats rented swims deep dock nights stars blankets shared. Family full now cousins knowing nods aunts questions gentle uncles silences approving. Bonfire Lena stories her own youth loves tangled truths buried then freed now. To second chances she toasted eyes ours. Late but sweet. Clink hearts full. Fall gallery second show bolder pieces us in frames subtle her influence lines soft edges sharp. Opening night crowd thicker her speech short proud words landing soft. After dinner rooftop stars city below her on knee ring simple gold. Marry me Aurora. Build that cabin. Life. Tears yes choked ring sliding perfect fit. Planning quick intimate lake house June witnesses few Ellie made honor Lena beaming. Vows exchanged dock creaking sun warm words simple true are you forever shaken but steady. Rings bands matching promises sealed kiss cheers rippling water lapping witness. Honeymoon road trip West Canyons red rock hikes hands clasped views vast hearts fuller. Cabin bought fall woods quiet first night fire crackling bed new sheets crisp bodies home. Years flowed designs books published her stories mine art classes shared students wide-eyed. Family grew dinners loud loves announced careful but celebrated. Ellie would her own path walked us beside tears joy. Lena aged graceful visits frequent stories swapped wisdom given. One evening porch swing creaking her head shoulder sunset painting sky. Shaken that night she murmured. Best surprise. Yes I agreed hand hers. Led here. Rocking gentle world turning a center love human vast forgiving. Reflections come quiet moments design desk her photo frame smile eternal or classroom door her voice carrying passion. Life tapestry woven threads blood choice emotion depth. Shaken moments birth not and grace found an embrace. And so we live hearts open paths chosen together.